I'm Natalie.
I'm Fran.
I'm Diana.
And I'm Erica, and we're going to be talking about bilingualism through the lens of linguistics.
So, first, I will be talking about the effects of bilingualism on language development. There are two different types of effects, the first one being the course of language development. So, bilingual children are usually more advanced in one language than another, but within each language, their development is very similar to monolingual children. Also, within each language, their vocabularies are dominated by words that are used in social contexts, and then nouns and fewer verbs. But as they get older, social function words and nouns actually decrease and their verbs increase. The second effect is the rate of language development. So, recent studies show that when children are exposed to and acquire two different languages from birth, that their rate of development of each language is slower than the rate of development of a monolingual child for a single language. So, bilingual children can fall slightly behind monolingual children in their vocabulary and grammar when they are measured in one language only, but bilingual children are not delayed in the rate that they acquire linguistic knowledge in total, meaning that they often know more vocabulary words than a monolingual child when both languages are combined. So the example we have is a monolingual child might know 800 total words in one single language, and the bilingual child might know 500 words in one language, but also 500 words in another. So that gives them 1,000 total words. So their vocabulary is usually more expansive and they know more words for different items.
The next thing that we're going to talk about is bilingual language code switching. So what is code switching? This is the use of multiple languages in a single conversation. However, the process still follows linguistic rules. Subject and object pronouns must match the main verb. So what you wouldn't do is say yo went or meet a him. What you would say is yo fui a Target to get a really cute skirt. Still has the preposition, adjective, and noun that match the verb in the same language. This begins as early as 2 years old when bilingual children are already demonstrating some sensitivity to the linguistic and social constraints on code switching, and terms have even been coined for this. An example would be Hindi and English together would be Hinglish, and Spanish and English together would be Spanglish. So when and why does code switching occur? Code switching allows for people to express themselves in a way that they see fit in any given scenario, and usually happens around families, friends, and other members of their speech community. Code switching allows for privacy, so if you don't want someone to know what you're about to say, you can switch into a different language. It also exists within a power dynamic, so this is very common for marginalized groups of people to adopt accents, dialects, and languages of the dominant social group to achieve mutual respect. It also happens naturally, as we saw in the previous slide. It can happen as early as 2 years old, so we see that it does occur naturally. And it also helps bilingual people find the right words that they want to use. And code switching also increases solidarity because it increases the bond between speech communities and puts the other speaker at ease, allowing them to speak in the language that they know best.
So now I'll be talking about some of the cognitive consequences of bilingualism for children. But first, I want to talk about some of the misconceptions about bilingualism. Those include the idea that children suffer intellectually as a result or have delays in their speech. And research has proven that although that might be the case at an early age, children who grow up to be bilingual ultimately even out with monolinguistic children. Another misconception is that children will automatically learn the language. That could be by watching TV in another language. But research has also proven that that's not the case. Children need communication in order to properly learn the language and how it works. In the United States, there are a lot of resistance towards bilingual education compared to the rest of the world. Ironically, since the United States has a large population of immigrants. Some of the cognitive advantages associated with bilingualism include metalinguistic awareness, theory of mind understanding, and executive functioning. In the metalinguistic awareness, children who grow up bilingual. Guys, I broke up. Can I start over?
It's okay, yeah, just start over.
You were doing so good.
I know. Okay.
You want to start from this slide?
Which which the third one?
The cognitive advantage slide?
Yes. Okay. Some cognitive advantages associated with being bilingual are metalinguistic awareness, theory of mind understanding, and executive functioning. When we talk about metalinguistic awareness, this means that children have the ability to think about language and how it works a lot better than monolinguistic children because they are understanding and learning two languages. When we talk about theory of understanding, bilingual children have scored higher in studies such as the false belief task, in which children have a better understanding of that people have beliefs that differ from reality. And executive functioning, bilingual children have proven to be have better cognitive abilities responsible to attention, selection, inhibition shifting, and mental flexibility.
I'm going to be talking about bilingual education in the US. So, the definition of bilingual education in general is when children experience the school curriculum in two languages. But in the US, compared to different parts of the world, our bilingual education system is different. The goal is to teach English as a second language and increasing children's English language skills. In 1974, all schools became legally required to offer bilingual education to students who needed it. And the US public school system is involved in Spanish and English bilingual education across the country. However, there are no standards in implementing these bilingual programs, so there is a wide variety of the different types of bilingual programs, and they all have different goals, or they could have different goals, and the quality of each program could range. Research shows that dual language programs are more influential in helping students learn in school compared to single language programs. The study on the next slide from 2002 supports this claim. So it's saying that in an English immersion school, so they speak 100% English, in kindergarten, children had better oral skills, but then by fifth grade, the people in English speaking schools were at the same level as children who spoke both Spanish and English in bilingual schools. So, in conclusion, by fifth grade, students in a bilingual education program were at the same level orally in English as their English only speaking counterparts and also had additional Spanish skills.